Hey guys, my name is Annalee Kemsley. I'm a freelancing makeup artist and welcome to the Maybelline Makeup Loft. I am so incredibly excited to be here today with Maybelline and also with you guys. So today I really wanted to create a makeup look that I feel like I get requested for quite often from clients that I deal with on a daily basis. What I find is a lot of clients really want to achieve a nice working day makeup look that transitions really nicely into evening but also lasts all day long. So today I've created this makeup look. I was heavily inspired by autumn and winter to create a look that was warm and effective and just really lifted the face for those kind of like slightly more drabber days. So I went with some cranberry shades, we did a pop of color. This is the overall look that I created using Maybelline products. So if you guys want to see how I created it, just stick around. So of course, to kick off the makeup look, I'm going to be priming my skin today. So priming is incredibly important when it comes to the quality finish of your makeup, but also the longevity that it gives to your makeup throughout the day. So today I'm going to be using the Face Studio Primer. It's a hydrating primer by Maybelline, and for a drier combination skin type like myself, I like added hydration to my products. So this one is packed with hyaluronic acid. So this is going to help hydrate and retain moisture in my skin. If you're someone who is more oily and needs that shine control, I highly recommend trying out Maybelline's Pore Refining Primer. So I just placed this everywhere I'm going to lay down my foundation. So when it came to choosing a foundation, I wanted something that I knew was going to feel lightweight, something that was going to look kind of natural but cover me in all the right areas that I need that little bit of extra coverage, and something that's going to last all day, because for me, I do work some pretty big hours. I know a lot of you guys do too. I might be getting up at 7 putting on my makeup and I need it to last, until 7 o'clock in the evening. So I ended up choosing the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is the matte and poreless foundation. So this is a really good foundation for more of a combination skin type to oily. It's got powder absorbent technology in it. So basically what happens is when your skin starts to deplete oil throughout the day, it will absorb that oil and just help maintain shine a little bit longer throughout the day, but also durability, so it doesn't start to slide off the face as quickly. So I always like to start at the center of the face, because if you happen to come in too heavy with your hand with application, that's generally the area we like to have a little bit of extra coverage, and then any excess on the brush goes more to the outer areas of the face, like the jawline, so we don't get a massive amount of foundation buildup, or we don't want a foundation line around there. So now, I couldn't tell you why, but concealing for some reason is one of my favorite parts of doing my makeup. I think it just completely finishes me off and I feel nice and bright and awake. So of course I thought I would match up the right concealer with my foundations. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is quite a nice lightweight concealer, but does give you just enough coverage that you need. So I always just focus my concealer nowadays on the inner corners of my eyes rather than taking it all the way out, just because now that I'm getting a little bit older, what I've noticed is the thicker of consistency I have on the outer areas near my crow's feet, the more I crease. And all I really want to do personally is brighten up any darkness, and I just seem to get it more through here than anywhere. So I just focus my concealer there, and I put a little bit on my eyelids as a base before we do our eyeshadow. For roughly about 12 months now, I have just became the biggest advocate when it comes to cream products. I just love the look that it gives my makeup. It just looks really beautiful and soft and skin-like. Catch me 12 months prior and I was very apprehensive of using them because I just didn't quite know how to work with them, because I've just been trained to always work with powder products, Once I just became really familiar and worked with cream products, I actually found them even more easier than using powder products. So today I'm going to be using a cream blush, and I'm going to show you guys how I work with it and how easy it is. So I'm going to be using the Cheek Heat, and this is in the color Rose Vibrant. So I'm just going to place the smallest amount on the back of my hand. I'm going to take a tapered brush and just buff that in, so it's all over the brush now. And then I just place it around the apples of the cheeks and just start working with the foundation while it's still damp. You always want to do creams first. and then come in with powders afterwards. So you might be able to see I'm just really gently going over top of the surface of my makeup. I'm really not trying to buff it in too hard. I'm just trying to skim it on top and work it into the foundation. So I always start at the apples of the cheeks, always take it upwards so I get a nice elongated lifted look to my face, and I take a little bit around my eyebrow and a little bit through my temple, just so it looks a little bit more natural and flush. So now we just have that really nice, healthy, flush look about the skin. So when we put down foundation, we generally neutralize all color in our face, so it's really important to rebalance color back. So that's why we put a bit of blush in, and now we're gonna move on to bronzer. So bronzing is really great to help just give a little bit of extra warmth to the skin, and it does give a little bit of added shape without necessarily doing heavy contour, you know. Today I'm going to be using the City Bronzer. This is a 2-in-1, so this is actually a bronzing and contouring shade. As you can see, it's not overly warm, but it's not overly cool, and it sits in that kind of just neutral. It's like a neutral bronzer, so you can use it for either, but for me today I'm going to be using it as a bronzer. So I always like just to focus it on the higher points of my cheekbones. I don't go anywhere near the hollows as if I was actually to be contouring. All I want to do is give my complexion the look that's had a little bit of sun, and it will just naturally shape my face at the same time. So for me, I actually like to lay down my highlight before I set my foundation with powder. I just like it because it gives a little bit more of a damper, gentle look because the foundation isn't set yet. So today I'm going to be using the Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the color Molten Rose Gold. So because it's daytime, I don't want like a heap of highlight. I'm just going to put the most gentle amount because I do want to achieve a slightly more glowy look that is well controlled with powders. So I'm just going to make sure I'm glowy in the right areas. So on the higher points of that cheekbone, just the smallest amount. I do get a few more crow's feet nowadays, and if my highlight is too close to those crow's feet, the highlighter will actually amplify the look of them. So I just like to keep it more on that outer area, away from them, and just very gently on the top of the cheek. And just to add a little bit of brightness to the eyes, I put a little bit in the inner corners. So I've achieved everything that I want with my base. So now what I want to do is set it all into place and make sure that, first of all, it's well set, so it's going to last all day. Second of all, I've got control in areas that I know I get a little bit oily, and also setting my eyelids before we start doing some eyeshadow. So sticking with the Fit Me family, I'm going to be using their loose finishing powder. Now, finishing powder is so essential, just like primer, when it comes to that longevity that you're going to get out of your makeup and the performance of it. It's just so good at absorbing oils throughout the day and just making sure that it binds the best to your skin. Now, you might not be aware, but your eyelids are actually the oiliest part of your body, so you may have put on eyeshadow in the past and found that it's gone damp and it's rolled around. That's because the oil has seeped through and nothing has absorbed it to stop it from getting damp around that area. So placing down translucent powder is that kind of added layer of protection for absorbing oils. So I'm going to place a little bit through my nostril area and a little bit underneath my eyes just to set my concealer, some through my chin and through my temple. Now, like I said before, I am more of a dry skin type, so I like to maintain a little bit of dewiness. So I'm going to leave it like that, but for other people, you might just like to set all of your face, especially if you're more of an oilier skin type, so you can just pat it all over. Time for a good brow. So we're going to be using the Brow Ultra Slim pencil. This is in the color Soft Brown. One side you've got a spoolie, which is basically just a clean mascara wand, but they're so essential when it comes to grooming your brow. So what I like to do is really push up my eyebrows and groom them into place before we add any kind of product to it. Now, when it comes to brows, I always start off at the arch of the brow because this is the place we can get away with excess product if we come in too heavy with our hand. You don't really want to start at the front in case we come in too heavy and we get a really blocked look. And I'm just going to be creating really soft strokes through the brow as if they were to look like brow hairs. You'll never find me too far away from a brow gel. They're just one of my favorite products when it comes to creating a nicely, perfectly undone brow. So really sharp, sleek brows aren't as popular as the slightly more unperfected brow nowadays. So I'm going to be using the Brow Fast Sculpt by Maybelline. This is basically just a clear gel, and what I like to do is set my brows into place by pushing my brows upwards and just creating a little bit more of a fluffier brow rather than a really structured brow. just like that. So for the eye look, I really wanted something that was going to translate and pair up nicely with the statement lip. So instead of using neutral and warm tone browns, we're going to really work with soft pinks and cranberries. Today I'm going to be working with this eyeshadow palette here. This is the Matte Bar by Maybelline, and I'm just going to be showing you guys 3 major colors that we're going to work with today. So we're going to be using this matte ivory shade, we're going to use this soft pink, and then we're going to be using some of this cranberry shade. So taking that pink shade that I showed you with a big fluffy brush, we're going to take it into the eye socket, and this is going to be the overall diffusion shade. So we're just moving it in circular motions back and forth into the eye socket. And we're going to take that shade with a smaller brush, and we're going to line the lower lash line, connecting to the top. So just going to add a little bit of shape and contouring to the lower lash. Now we're going to take that darker cranberry shade, and we're just placing it on the outer corner of the eye. So now I'm going to take that white matte ivory shade on the tip of my finger, and I just like to pack it on from about the center to the inner corner of the eye. That's roughly where I'm going to be placing it. This is just going to brighten and really make the eye pop. I love using the tip of my finger just because you do get a pure payback from your eyeshadow, but also if you're in a hurry, it's super quick and easy. For me, this is like perfect when it comes to shape and definition. You could also just do that first shading color that I did. You don't need to add the extra depth in the outer corner or the pop of brightness in the eye. But when you add different shapes and tones to the eye, you do add more of a dimension kind of effect, and it also makes the eye pop. So completely up to you. If you're in a hurry, just do that first shade. It's still gonna look nice and pretty once we put on our mascara. And again, you'd think this would be enough, but for me personally, I love to wear liquid liner. It's just one of my favorite things to really just give definition and finish off my eyes. So if you wanted to, you can stop here, but if you wanted to continue, you then can add on some liquid liner. If you're a follower of mine, you will know I'm so particular about liquid liners, how they perform, and what the tip is like. So Maybelline have brought this one out. This is called Hyper Easy. This is a liquid liner, and I can't even tell you how blown away I am by this. Like, I'm so particular. But the tip of it is really structured, but what you'll find is that when you go to apply it, it's super flexible, so you get a really nice flick rather than, like, a lot of products can be very stiff and felt tip like, but this is a beautiful, very refined brush. So we're going to do a very nice little wing today. So for lashes today, I'm going to be using the False Lash Lift by Maybelline. This is a new mascara out. This is meant to give a really nice lifted, separated look to your eyelashes. So I always like to do 2 coats, top and bottom. So now everything's complete. I'm just going to finish off my lips now. Now I've went with a color that I feel is going to be impactful, but like not boom in your face. Something that's going to wear really nicely and something that's going to still feel really comfortable on the lips. So today I'm going to be using the SuperStay ink crayon. So the reason why I've chosen this one is because one, it comes from the SuperStay family, so it is designed to last longer, and second of all, it's really pigmented and it's got a really nice demi matte finish to it. So we've got kind of like all the right elements to get a really nice impactful lip that's going to last all day long. When you open it up, it is a crayon, and don't forget at the bottom you've got a little sharpener, which is great. So I'm not going to be using a lip liner for this because I feel like I don't need to with this, so we're just going to apply it on. So So this is the completed look. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this. I love it. I feel like it wears really well. It's a little bit extra glam than just like everyday makeup, and it will transition lovely from day to night. So of course, if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Maybelline Makeup Loft channel. Hit that little subscribe button down below, and hope you guys all have a lovely day, and I will see you very soon. Bye.